my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains, the cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash, numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd, every game we scream it loud. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Good evening and welcome to the greatest show on earth. Yes, we're back with Tottenham till we die. Of course, myself, Derma, aka Dermatron, and the man beside me, Big James. He's taken over for Big Meeks from the rest is football. And down below, we've got somebody called VCAM. Sounds like a dodgy 1980s porn film.
You'd know
really
that.
does.
Yeah. Hello, and who have we got here? Is this an alien from outer space? Are you the one that's circling around our solar system at the moment?
No, I'm trying to change my avatar so it's Yoda, but it's not working.
Ah, right. Okay. Well, you are that alien that's going around our solar system then if you're Yoda. Right. You sound very human for Yoda. I was more expecting Yoda talk.
Be nice to me. I've got tonsillitis.
I know. I'm joking. How are you, bud?
I'm okay. My throat hurts a bit, but
I know.
recovering.
Thank you for popping in earlier. I hope the show was okay for you earlier on the podcast. Really enjoyed it, actually.
Yeah, you and Dave did well. How are you
Yeah.
doing, James? You all right, mate?
I'm good, T. I'm good. It's glad to see you, my man. It's glad to, well, not see you, but hear from you on a show. I hope you're feeling a little bit better, if not on the road to recovery, my friend.
Yeah, cheers, bruv. I hope everyone's good in the chat as well. Let me see if I can fix my avatar. So you guys go on ahead without me. I'll be in the backstage. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, everyone, please send your well wishes to Tequila. He has had tonsillitis, as he said, so please. And I was only joking, Tequila. I wasn't trying to be smart. I was only joking. I was trying to be slightly funny. It wasn't working. Right. Yes, good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well and hope you are doing what you love, what you're doing. We are going to talk about a few things tonight. We're going to talk about Paratici. We're going to talk about what does this mean for Tottenham Hotspur. We are going to talk about a few other things, and we don't make any apology for it because that's what we do on here. That's how we roll, and that is what we're going to talk about. So get your questions in, get your views in as well. Make them into a super chat if you can. Also pick up your memberships as well. Plenty of membership shows coming tomorrow and on Saturday, and of course the watch along as well, guys, as well as we return with Aston Villa. Very quickly, let's start international breaks. I suppose I have to say congratulations to you two for qualifying for the World Cup. Not
Did we?
jealous.
Oh,
Not
I
jealous.
didn't know if you
jealous.
just told me. I didn't know you just told me, Dermo.
Yeah, you qualified for the World Cup by winning your group 5 out of 5, not conceding a goal. I mean, if there ever was a stitch up and bribery happening in the world of football, the FA have done it brilliantly.
Don't be saying stuff like that, Dermo. You know that's uncalled for. It's just because our island is shit and you're not going to qualify. Don't be throwing slander around.
Look, I know we're shit, and I can't come out and say I know we're shit. But right, are you happy? Look, it was mentioned the other day, so I really want to start with this first question. Right, do you think World Cup qualifying should be changed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because should you be having more? Should the jeopardy of you not qualifying be there? Because it isn't there. To be fair.
The thing is that the way to change the qualifying, you're going to have to change the seeding, and unless they're going to change, like what we talked about in our Premier League podcast show, unless they're going to change and completely shake up how qualifying works, it's never going to happen. And it's the only way you're going to do it is if you bring it into like when you draw in your teams, is more stronger seeded teams, but let's be honest, FIFA are not going to want that. They're going to want all the big name countries at every World Cup to bring the fans in, to bring the money in. If you're getting the likes of Brazil being knocked out, France being knocked out, England being knocked out, Spain being knocked out, Germany being knocked out in the qualifiers, then it's going to... the fans ain't going to turn up. The money's not going to be as big, so they're not going to change it, are they? It is.
And answer me this then, Tequila and James, right? England this century, right? This century, we're now 25 years into this century, right? Have only lost 7 qualifying games this century.
Yeah.
Now, 7 in 25 years. You haven't lost a World Cup qualifying in 16 years.
Yeah, but doesn't that show you just like the kind of the quality of the teams that we're generally facing?
But that's the point I'm making then. Do you go along with, I think it was your idea, wasn't it, James? I don't know what Tequila thinks. Doing qualifying as like we have in the Champions League, but
a giant table,
yeah, and make it a little bit more.
Yeah, giant table. Everybody you draw. You play 8 games. Your top 8 go through. The rest of the teams fall into like a playoff round, and then you go to a round of 16, quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. You could quite easily do it, but like I said, FIFA are not going to do it. The World Cup is too much of a money spin.
No,
the Euros are too much of a money spin.
James, they're going in the opposite direction. They want more teams there, not less. They've made it even more teams. So they're going in a complete opposite direction to what you want.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to say. I mean, you could, if you wanted more teams there than less, then you could say, okay, well, the top 16 go through, and then from 17th to 32, 17 to 32 teams, 17 to 32 in the league go into a qualifying round, and then they all go into it. So that would give you another 32 teams. Then you have a round of 32, a round of 16, round of 8, round of semis, and then the final. You could extend it in a big league format, but they're not going to do it because they don't. It's too, like I say, it's too much of a money spin. Why would you? Why would they want to throw money down the pan.
Then they don't want. I mean, we remember when like Italy didn't qualify. They don't want that. They want every single massive nation because they know that's what bring the punters in. With all due respect to some of the smaller teams of the world, they're not going to bring in any kind of revenue like Italy, Spain, England, France, Argentina, Brazil. You know, all the big boys. So they don't. So you know, they're not really going to come out and say it, but it's common sense. They're going to want all the big boys there. So they're going to make it as easy as possible. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, Brazil have never failed to qualify for a World Cup. They've qualified for every World Cup, I think, since 1950. But yeah, you do look at World Cups gone by when England haven't gone there, or Italy have missed out, and France have missed out. Used to miss out quite a lot. I mean, you get to a point. San Marino I've nearly qualifying for a playoff place for the World Cup. I mean, things have got bad. That San Marino. Yeah, we were shit. We just beat Armenia. 10 men Armenia won it. I mean, we were dreadful. And then if Hungary beat Armenia on next month, then we don't qualify for the World Cup. And I'm devastated because I really thought we had a good chance getting into the playoffs this year. I really did, but look, it's not to be in. We've got Euro 2028, which we're co-hosting with England and Scotland and Wales. But no,
does that doesn't even guarantee you a passage to the finals, does it?
It does England. It does England and Scotland, I think, both get an automatic qualification.
Is that because of their rankings? Is that because of their FIFA rankings?
It's because of what you've done in past European Championships.
Yeah.
We've only qualified for 3 in our whole history. We're not good enough. I said it today in the podcast today that I don't know what Philip or Gerard think, but we need to look in the League of Ireland because that's really going well at the moment. League of Ireland's doing very well. And I think we need to start looking there for talent. But our manager is woeful. He's dreadful. The sooner he goes, the better. But look, our governing body's corrupt as well. Our governing body, Delaney set Irish football back 20 years by what he got up to. So, do you know what I mean? We've got to realise you look at GAA and rugby are going to get the money and soccer is not going to get it. Soccer is your number 1 sport in England.
Yeah.
Are you looking at something? Sorry. I didn't mean to rant on about Ireland. Sorry, I do apologise. I'm probably boring the area. Well, let's move on from my Irish rant and talk about Tottenham. That's what we're here to do. We're back. Football is back on Sunday. Our home to Villa. Are you glad to see Tottenham back now, guys?
Yeah. I find it. I can't help it. I find international football just so dull. I have for years, to be honest with you. I just do.
Yeah.
It's just not the same. It's not got the same. I mean, the World Cup and the European Championship, and I suppose Copa America for the South Americans, but I mean everything else. I'm just honestly, Dermo. I mean, I do feel for you because you kind of like you never get there. I guess most of the time all you have is the goddamn qualifiers.
That's it.
But it's. I don't know. Maybe I envy you a bit that you got passion for the national team because I don't think that many of us Brits do anymore. I think a lot it's been taken out of a lot of us. I think.
I have passion because I have passion, Tequila, because I just love us to get to a tournament.
It's just like, even when the games, just like the attendance for the games has gone down and down. I mean. As well, so it's like there's just a general the country just isn't that interested anymore.
I agree with you. There needs to be James, just talk. My earpiece just fell out. Just count on for a minute.
Right.
Sorry.
No worries. I think what Dermo was saying is that the excitement for the qualifiers for us is not there, whereas with the Irish international, there is genuine excitement. Can they do it? Can they drive on and push on? But anyway, we're not here to talk about Ireland, Dermo. Stop turning the conversation to Ireland. We're not talking about Ireland.
I've got a lot to say about it. I've got
England. You don't hear me say something about England because
exactly. You don't.
Yeah.
Anyway, big up to Rhino. Big up Rhino. He says, big up Dermo. How's everything? How's the weather? How's the weather in England today, lads?
It's been grey and cloudy, but not cold.
Yeah, it's cold this morning. It's cold this morning.
Yeah, on the East Coast, a little bit of cold this morning, but dull. Today was dull.
Yeah, it's just been overcast all day.
Yeah, big up to Wayne Bono, says, good evening, folks. Hope you're all well. I'm not sure about what their plan is, but I can't see Paratici and Lang being the good pairing unless they give separate aspects to the job. There is, and also there is talk tonight. Gabbiadini's heading back to Tottenham as well, which I'm over the moon with. I'm over the moon with that. Well, Dermo, says Jared, what is your view on Ireland's performances Tuesday night? Shite. How are we shite? We beat a team that's ranked 103. That just says it all. We beat a 10-man team. Oh, seriously. Oh God, descending off was embarrassing as well. Dermo, I would love you to hear that. That's never going to happen. That is never going to happen unless I lose a bet. Unless I lose a bet, then I will say it. But that will never. Hell will freeze over twice before I say that.
Just on while Ryan's in the chat and everything, I am coming for you, Ryan. Fantasy football, I'm closing that gap, son. Mark my words, I'm going to take at least another 10 points off you this week.
I'm looking forward to that on Monday, actually, when I do that show. See how you have caught. You really have caught. I keep telling Tequila, get in it, Tequila. Get involved in it. You're the pep. You're the pep of the fantasy world. And, I think you should get into it. Gerard says you can only beat what's put in front of you. That's so true. That's what I say to Mrs. John every day when I get up. You can only beat what's in front of you. When she talks
That's why she beats you all the time.
Do you want to know what I did earlier, guys? I was playing EFFC and playing career mode, and I realised that I was facing Ange Postecoglou's team. He was managing Verona. I was managing Juventus. Beat him 5-0.
What did he say?
It showed a cutscene of me shaking his hand, and I just thought, and then I just whispered, "Just who we are, mate." And that's what my character said to him. Just what I'd mentioned that. I thought it was quite funny. I didn't realise. I didn't realise until the cutscene that it's Ange Postecoglou. Don't know what he's doing managing Verona, but there we are.
Quick question on Ange: will he get the sack at the weekend?
No, not yet.
I give him till end of November.
Really, that long?
If he's lucky.
Do you give him to the next last international break then before Christmas?
I think so. When's that? That's mid-November, isn't it?
Mid-November, yeah.
Yeah, no, he'll be gone before that. I think he'll be lucky to see. He'll be lucky to see out October. If Forest lose their next 2 or 3, he'll be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how well they do in Europe, he will be gone.
Yeah, big up.
And if he loses in Premier League and then loses in Europe, he could be gone a lot sooner.
Yeah, big up to Brenny. Evening chats and smashing like. Big up to you, Brenny. Hope you're doing well. So great to win. Big up to Philip Brady as well. We're just not good enough. Too many lower league players. Agree. Ireland are ranked 61. Yes, they are. Big up to Brenny. International football was more exciting decades ago. Qualifiers and tournaments. Jared says, cheer up, Dermo. The rugby is back in January. Oh, yeah, 6 Nations were good at rugby. Yeah, that's all right. Ireland are good at that. We'll win that. There is a Green Isle at the next World Cup. Cape. Saw this in the week, actually.
Cape Verde, yeah.
Yeah, have qualified for the first ever World Cup. Fair play to them. And Ryan is saying, okay, so if you say so, my man, you're not catching me. My man, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
In last 2 weeks, last 2 game weeks, Ryan, I've taken nearly 30 points. I've closed the gap by nearly 30 points. So I'm coming. There's no ifs or buts about it. I am coming for you, my man.
We did look at it, didn't we, James? We went through the group, actually. You and me both looked through the table, and yeah, you've had a really good few weeks, actually. What's it between the top 6? It's a 30-40 points between the top 6, something stupid like that.
Hang on. I will have a look. Just bear with me. My camera angle might change a little bit. I will pull it up and have a quick look.
Big up to David Janot. Big up to David Janot. Look, Forest are getting relegated. The hell they are. And Ange is as safe as houses. Yeah, it's as safe as a wombat going into a safe house. Paratici, while James is looking up the thing. I'll start with you, Tequila. Paratici. Are you happy he's back? Do you think it's good for Tottenham he's back?
Yeah, but I wish he was working by himself. Like, I don't really see the point and of keeping Lange. I mean, we don't see exactly what he does behind the scenes, but I mean, I think Dave made a point earlier, and he's bang on. He didn't exactly pull up trees at Villa, and he's not done much for us. Let's be honest, our recruitment has been generally pretty poor since he took over. And even though no director of football bats 100%, I think Paratici had more wins and losses. I think it's fair to say, if you look, especially from Serie, the Italian league, I think most of our purchases from the Italian league have been pretty sound, to be fair. And also, he got Van der Ven as well, I believe, didn't he?
Yeah.
So I think most of his purchases have been more hit than miss. But I think with Lange, it's gone the other way. So I don't really see the point of retaining him unless his function is going to be something that he's good at. But you'd have to tell me what exactly he's meant to be good at, because I don't know what it is.
So look, James, the Lang and Paratici has very similarities to when Paratici first came in, and Steve Hitchen was here, and they did that. Are we on the similar trajectory that eventually Lang's going to go? They just had to find a space for him. So it's the similarities between Paratici and Hitchen and Lang and Paratici and Lang.
No, because Steve Hitchen was shit at his job. Johan Lang is not much better, but he's a little bit better than shit. I think what will happen is Johan Lang will take more of. He will probably be more in charge of sort of like outgoing loans and looking after youth development. I know there is certain things regarding what Paratici's role is going to be and what Lang's role is going to be, but I think that'll probably be for this window. I don't think that it'll be stuck to. And I think Paratici has a better track record at bringing quality players in. Because if you look at his last five who he's brought in, and you can say Johan Lang brought in Kudos and Xavi and that, but I actually think Paratici had more of a hand in that than we actually realise.
Well, he was the consultant at the time. Look, you are right. Yeah. He does bring in better players. He brings in Romero. He bought in Vicario. He bought in Mickey van der Ven. He bought in Porro. If you look,
he also brought in Bergvall.
Yeah,
everyone forgets about Bergvall. He brought in Bergvall. He brought in. And then you look at who Lang's brought in, and I'm not meaning to sound this as in any kind of disrespect to the kid, but Lang's brought in Dominic Solanke, Kevin Danso, Brennan Johnson, and you just sort of look at the quality, and the drop off is quite big. I like Kevin Danso as a defender. I think he's a quality backup. I think he's a quality backup, and I think he's got a chance to be a good squad player for us. But he's not going to tear up trees in Premiership, and he's certainly not a leading Premier League defender. Just because I have got it up, Dermo, as well while I am chatting. So the gap in the Fantasy Football League between Ryan in first and yourself in fourth, there is roughly 68 points separating those four places. Between myself and Ryan, that gap is down to 29 points. Now, in the last 2 game weeks combined, I've closed the gap by 28 points. I've closed that gap. So there's 29 points between me and Ryan. If the trajectory continues and the points sort of stay similar, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to be a point behind it. But that's fantasy football, and we'll talk about that on Monday. And Ryan, please, please, please come on to the show on Monday. Then, if you've pulled away again, by all means, you can come give me some stick. But if I've closed that gap again, be prepared for some stick.
Yeah. Just to ask a question about the summer. Just saw this. These are players whose contracts have expired in summer 2026, right? You got Mark Gahey, you got John Stones, Ryan Segonson, Harry Maguire, Callum Wilson, Danny Welbeck, Danny Ings, Kieran Trippier, James Garner, Nick Pope, Harry Winks, Rick O'Henry, Harry Wilson, and Ben Davis. And there's more actually. There's Andrew Robertson, and then there's a load of French players. Benzema contract runs out in the end of the summer. And then you got Bernardo Silva, players like that. You got Andreas Gomez, and then you got Spanish teams. A load of players that are on contract. Any of them lot would you say take a punt on?
I'd take Mark Gushy.
I take Mark Gahey, yeah. Karim Benzema's going Saudi.
Yeah.
Karim Benzema's going to go to Saudi leagues.
Radovic's contract expires at the end of the season. And he also got Weston McKennie as well, the American.
Yeah, but you look at those sort of players and their aging, and are they going to really sort of influence first team sort of positions? And you also got to look at our foreign to English count players is quite big. So we've got more foreigners than English. So we really could do with some English players. So we can sort of balance that out, increase our Champions League squad size. So if we can get another couple of English lads in, we could add three other foreigners to the Champions League squad. Because we've had to shrink down as Champions League squad because we don't have enough homegrown registered players. So,
yeah, I agree. Tequila, look, James makes a very good point. We've got to go more English when it comes to January and it comes to the summer. With Gabbiadini now set to return to Tottenham to work alongside Paratici again, do you think Tottenham will go into a summer window on a three-pang approach? That Paratici will have some players, Gabbiadini will be there looking at players, and as well as Lang. Do you think Tottenham are more prepared for the summer window than they have been in the years under Levy?
Not sure. It depends on how integrated the new members of the board, if that's the term to use. Oh, I mean, look, you asked, you and Dave spoke a lot already about Enoch. So we'll have to wait and see with Enoch. As far as like the setup, I'd like at least one of those three. Maybe that's something Lange can do. I don't know what his track record is with youth players. Who's the guy he brought in from Villa? Leon Bailey.
Yeah.
Other than that, I can't think of too many who came through the youth squad. But maybe maybe that's what he should focus on. If we're really to get English players into our squad, the best route, as you know, is to develop our own. Do what we did under. I mean, I give Levy a lot of crap, rightfully so. But do you remember the two guys we bought off Sheffield United, Norton and Walker? And obviously Norton didn't work out, but Walker certainly did. Why can't we be doing that again? Buying these kind of players from the Championship, these young English players. I mean, we did it with Phillips from is he playing for Stoke now? Is he on loan at Stoke?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we still can do that, and I think that's our best option. If we're not prepared to wait, because it could take 10 years before we see any fruits of our labour from the youth team. That's the route I think we should be going down. We can't afford. We're not going to pay the English tax, are we? That's one of the reasons why we got Solanke, and we know we had to pay the 20 million extra English tax for him.
No.
So
I mean, James, look, you look at windows gone by with Tottenham, and you look at the windows we had under Paratici and Gabbiadini when they were on their own, the first season under Ange even. And you look at the window, you look at the players that could be available. There's still rumors about Harry Kane coming back next summer. I know that might not be true, but the rumors are there. How important is it for the Levy family or the Lewis family to get on the right side of the fans for Paratici to hit the ground running in the summer? Because January is going to be hit and miss. We all know that. But how important is it for them to hit the ground running for the Lewis family? June.
I'm going to sit on fence with that one a little bit because I don't believe the Lewis family will still be in charge in the summer.
Hypothetically, if they were.
Hypothetically, if they were, I don't think it'll make much difference with regards to because there's already going to be a window deep. We're going to have the January window, and we know that the January window is a notoriously difficult window to try and get any deals done.
Yeah, we all know that.
We all know that, and we know not to expect hundreds of millions being spent in January. I think it's going to be a case of, I think what needs to change is the speed on which we act. That's what is going to be most important. We need to be done with all this leaving it to the last minute bullshit. Let's get our deals done early. Let's get our deals done in. Let's get the players through the door. So all the players that Thomas Frank's going to want, because I have no doubt in my mind Thomas Frank's going to be our manager come the summer. Let's get the players in that Thomas Frank needs, that Thomas Frank wants, and let's get the deals done early. So the pre-season, you're not waiting 2 weeks into the start of the season before you're bringing in influential players. Let's get these players in. Let's get the squad bedded in together, playing together through the friendlies. And then you can look at, okay, so we've had these friendlies. Where do we need to tweak? That's how I deal with it. That is exactly how I deal with it. When I play Football Manager, that is how I build up my teams. In friendlies, I will set out, before I've even played my first friendly, I've got my squad is assembled. And then when I'm playing in my friendlies, if I see sort of like a bit of weakness and I need to tweak something, or I could do with a backup because certain players are tiring towards back end of games, I'll then look at tweaking and bringing in extras. And that doesn't matter because they're going to be your squad players. We need to get, if we're getting starters, we need them through the door early. And that's what's got to be different.
See, this is now Johan Lang's job at Tottenham. This is what he's doing. Johan Lang's looking after the academy, scouting, performance analysts, and football insight, whatever football insights means. Fuck knows what that means. Guys, look, I want to get on about, there's a question tonight about the club transparency and the club coming out. And there is a fan forum tonight actually happening at White Hart Lane at Tottenham. Vinay's going to be there. I think also Thomas Frank's there. I think QT Romero's there as well. So there will be a question on that. But on Johan's role here, James and Tequila, I don't know who wants to go first. Who wants to take Johan Lang and who wants to take Paratici?
I'll take Lang. I'll give Tequila.
You can choose, James. You want Lang, not because of that, mate.
I'll take Lang.
I just ask him to make sure he knows where Starbucks is. That's all I'd ask him to do.
Yeah,
I think that's what he will be there. But all right, James, look, we know the academy grew under Paratici. He came in and put the academy right. He did his investigations and found out where the problems were, and he put it right. Yeah. Johan Lang's in charge of the academy, scouting, performance analysis, and football insight. As I said, whatever that is. Now, we know there's two sporting directors at Chelsea. Is this the way modern football's going? And also with Johan Lang, is there one department there where you think he may excel at and one department where you think he may do absolutely F all?
I think the one thing he'll excel at, and this is going to sound stupid, really, is performance analysis.
All right.
I think he knows, he can understand. He's Joanne Lang is very data driven. He's a very data driven sort of scout. So his performance analysis, when he's scouting and performance analysis, I kind of bracket them sort of together, because you're looking at them, you're scouting a player, and you're getting the numbers, you're getting the data, and that sort of thing is what Joanne Lang's about. The academy, I can see that struggling underneath him more than anything. So unless he's going to be bracketing academy scouting as well, he may be good at that. But I think the academy could really, really struggle under Joanne Lang. And I fear for some of our youngsters on how he's going to treat them. Not so much in the way of like personally treat them, is like if he's watching under 21 matches, under 18 matches, under 19s, under 16s, all the way down through our footballing pyramid of our teams, and he's got to be on the money with picking up he's not watching Premier League players at under 16, under 15, under 17, under 18s. He's watching the next crop. He's got to be able to switch his mindset from looking for Premier League players to potential Premier League players. And the data side of that is very different to the data side of watching a Premier League player. Because anybody can scout a Premier League player and get data from it. You go to 5 or 10 games and you hone in on one player that you're watching, and you look at his progressive touches, his passes, how many times he loses a ball, his heading, his how many assists he's getting, and you build your data around that. There's 5 key areas that they look at when they're looking at data, and that is your passer, your possession won, your possession lost, your potential XG, and your total XG. And they're your 5, and you build off those 5, and you sort of, once you've got those 5 basics, you then sort of look at, right, okay, so his progressive passing, how many of his progressive passes led to a goal scoring opportunity? There gives you your potential XG and your actual in-game XG, and you build that up over a period of time. You can't watch a player in one game and decide that, oh, he's going to be a world beater because he had one good game. Doesn't always work like that. We've been stung. Tottenham have been stung by that in numerous players over the years. One good season does not make a world superstar. It's got to be deep dived and prop thing, and that's what I think Joanne Lang's good at. He's good at the deep dives rather than what Paratici is good at, and that's the difference. So I think he'll be good at the performance analysis and the scouting side of it. What worries me and concerns me most of all is the academy side of it. Football insights, I don't know. What's he looking? Is he looking at how to stitch a football together nowadays? I have no idea.
I don't know what that means. Look, I agree with you. I have to agree with you on that. So big up to you on that. I think he may be all right on the academy. I tell you why, because I think he likes watching young players, watching young talent. I think he may be all right. What worries me will be the performance. And look at the place he's brought in. I just don't know if he's going to be good at his job. But with Gabby Adini coming back, does that mean he's going to take some of them responsibilities of Joanne Lang? We also know Tottenham are also looking for a director of football operations who will support Johan. We talked about this earlier, James. I cannot get my head around this new thing, but look, we'll get into that in a minute. Tequila, Fabio Paratici, the Don, he's in charge with transfer windows, players, loan and development pathway department. Same question to you. Where is he going to excel and where is he going to struggle? I'm going to find it hard. If any of them, I don't think he will struggle personally. But
Oh no, I don't think he'll generally struggle. And as I said earlier, I don't even know what. I mean, James says he's good at data analysis, maybe so, but I'm not sure how great. I'm using some FIFA terms, judging player potential and stuff like that. I'm not sure that he's showed that much promise in that at all. So yeah, that does worry me to hear that he's going to be involved on the youth side, because it's like, I don't know. You know, it reminds me a little bit of. It reminds me a little bit of when we brought in Santini and Martin Yol. I know they're managers, but and Yol famously said afterwards, "I knew that it was only a matter of time before I had the job," and I'm thinking that's probably what Paratici's thinking. It's like, yeah, right, I'll play nice, but this guy's not going to last. This guy's not going to last under me. I'm the Don. I'm the man. I'm the guy who brings in the proper players. This guy's a bit of a poser. I'll play nice because I don't want to upset the apple cart, but he'll destroy himself soon enough. I reckon this doesn't last long. Is my point. This doesn't last long.
So he's going to excel at all three transfer windows, players, and loan and development pathway department. Yeah,
probably
okay.
More than Lange will.
Why do you bring Ange into it? He's gone. He's forgotten.
I said Lange.
No, he said Lange.
I said Lange. You've got Ange. You're the one who's got Ange on the mind. I said Lange. It's not my fault. They sound
that Ange. I really did. I thought you said Ange.
I heard him say Lange. Oh my days!
I thought you said Ange. Sorry, Ange and Lang. Look, it sounds the same. Look, get rid of both of them, then we're all happy.
Oh yeah.
We got rid of Ron. Get rid of his mate. Send him to Forest. See how well he does on the Macaracas.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah,
that would make your Christmas and New Year's and birthdays, wouldn't it, Tequila, if them two landed together?
And then make Russell from Rangers, make him like the director of football there. That would be heaven. That would be
at the end, I do have a question for you two about the Rangers debacle and how stupid it's gotten. But anyway, we will get for a bit of a laugh at the end for a giggle. Look, this was part of it as well. This was the last bit of that was put out. The complete destruction. The club will also shortly start recruiting for a director of football operations who will support Johan and Fabio, and manage a number of key functions and departments. So, James, if they bring in a director of football, right, do you think he will take some of Johan Lang's stuff off him, like the academy, the scouting, the medical department? Do you think he has to come in to run the rest of that bit of the football side at the training ground?
Do we, before James answers, do we need all these people? Don't you think it's
the way football is now? It's the way football is. It's gone bizarre. I mean, I agree with you. I think you just need one person. I think that's Paratici. And Gabby Dingy, and that's
isn't it better to have somebody's main vision? You know, somebody like Paratici comes across as being quite a dominant. You know, very forceful. Probably has a lot of confidence. He comes across that way from what I've seen. Does he really want to be like sharing this stuff with other people? I mean, just give him the ball. It just seems like I don't know. It just seems like
I agree.
What's the saying? Too many chefs spoil the broth.
Yeah, I totally agree. Big up to Kate and big up Kate and Jimbo. Looking forward to being on We Are Tottenham TV on Sunday, Kate. Can't wait. Yeah, do join me. I am on We Are Tottenham TV. I'm on the big channel now. I have to behave myself now because I'm on the big boy channel. And I've been upgraded, Tequila. I've been upgraded from the Irish Hotspur to We Are Tottenham TV.
Don't let Dave hear you say that.
I've signed from a lower Premier League side to a top Premier League side. That's what it feels like.
Wow.
What?
I feel a bit. I feel dirty.
Why?
Just for saying that they're a big channel and we're not a big channel. I disagree with you, Dermo.
We're getting there. We're getting there. He knows I'm after, and he knows I'm after the #1 Irish Spurs channel. He knows I'm after it. To give him a bit of a head start. See? The tortoise and the hare. You know who won the race at the end of the day, don't you? We're the hare, they're the tortoise. We will win the race in the long run. Big up to you, Kate and Jim. And then Dermo,
we're the hare, they're the tortoise, so we didn't lose it.
Yeah. So that's us screwed, then, isn't it? If we're the hare and they're the tortoise.
No, we're the tortoise and they're the hare. I said.
No, you didn't. You said it the other way around.
I know what I said, but I'm changing it around very quickly.
Scratch that, reverse it, yeah.
Yeah, reverse it. Yeah, reverse psychology. What's Clive Allen's job at the club? Is he just
like Onion Man? He looks like an onion. That's what his job is.
he does a lot for the Spurs TV, doesn't he, Clive Allen?
Yeah.
Does a lot of the co-commentary for the matches.
Does a lot for the under 21s as well.
Yeah,
he's one of the few pundits I remember back when he was on, like, you're on Sky Sports. You'd have all of them kind of slagging off Spurs. He always had a good. I mean, obviously because he had such a great season for us when he scored all those goals, but he always had a good word for us. I always liked Clive Allen. He just looks like an onion.
His brother? No, I did not sell my soul. I did not sell my soul. That is wrong. That is. I'm taking you to court now, Gerard. You will be hearing from my solicitors in the morning. If nobody does get that, we're having a presidential race over here for the president of Ireland, and somebody's taking one of the candidates to court for defamation. So it's a bit of Gerard knows what he means by that. Look, is it a good time to be a Spurs fan right now? We're third in the league. We've had a good start to the season. Yes, we're going to come into a difficult month, but are you happy by what you've seen so far, guys? Are you sort of content? I know we want more. I know we haven't been brilliant, but to where we were this time last season to here, are you happy with the change at Tottenham? Because I am, if I'm being honest. Paratici's back. Levy's gone. The players seem to be playing a better brand of football under Thomas Frank. We're not conceding as much. We're a bit difficult to play against. There's a lot to be excited about now, isn't there?
No, I think I disliked our last manager a lot. So, of course, that stuff's always going to get points. And obviously, Levy's out the window. I just think the reason why I'm struggling to say, like, is it a good time? Is because the future is a little uncertain. We'll probably know more within the next 12 months to 1 to 2 years. But until we get to that point, until we do see how full of it ENIC are or aren't, it's a little bit like, I wouldn't say it's a bad time, but I don't know. I think we will have to be patient, as difficult as that is. I'm not going to get carried away at all. I'm not going to believe anything they say. The proof's going to be in the pudding. So just be apprehensive. And I think so I'm not saying it's a bad time. I'm just saying I don't know how good a time it is either. I think we have to wait. We just have to wait and see. We can hope. You're allowed to hope, of course, by all means, hope. But we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see if it was Levy or not. I think it was Levy, but maybe it was ENIC. Maybe he was being told exactly what to do. And I don't like.
Me and Dermo had a little bit of a heated conversation regarding this afternoon. We had a little bit of a phone call, and Dermo asked me about Levy's legacy. What is Levy's legacy? And my answer was, Levy hasn't got a legacy with Tottenham. There's no legacy. In 2 or 3 years' time, no one will utter his name with anything good regarding the team or anything. I don't believe he's got a legacy. And I explained this to Dermo, and I'll say the exact same thing to you with regards to ENIC, right? If it was ENIC, then they've changed their stance on Tottenham very quickly, because in the last 22 and a half years that Daniel Levy was in charge, they pumped in less than £50 million worth of money into that club, into our football club. Less than 50 million. Since Levy's gone, they've pumped in more money. In a 6-month period, they've pumped in more money than what they have done in the previous 24 years. So I don't think it was ENIC. I think it was Levy telling ENIC he didn't need money and he will get by on the money that they've got. And I think that's the difference. And that's where I stand on it. And I think, given what they've said and the fact that they've put in a bit of money, not all masses, they've not put in masses. I'm not saying they're really splurging out, But I think it's enough to keep the fans sweet until the deal for the sale of the club is completed in the summer.
Look, I don't know where you are in this, Tequila. Look, my view is this, that I don't trust ENIC. I don't care what anyone says. They're tarred with the same brush for me. You've had people, and what I said it today on the podcast, and Tequila can back me up, and I did say it, that you got all these people that were the protesting saying we want ENIC out, we want Levy out, and they're all falling over themselves to saying, oh, let's give ENIC a chance. Let's give them a chance. Let's give them the summer. Let's do this. Let's do that. And they're all now bowing down, and because it's new people in charge. I don't give a shit. 25 years to done fuck all for the club. Neither him or down the Levy or ENIC. Yes, we got Champions League football, but they never won us a trophy. They never backed the managers when we need back. And you said that to me earlier, James, when under ENIC or Levy, never backed the managers, never backed Pochettino, never backed Mourinho. You get all these big managers in, and then 18 months they're out the door. Not even 18 months. Some lasted.
Yeah, but but like I said, who was the man who sacked them?
Yeah, but
let's be honest, it weren't ENIC, was it? It weren't ENIC, was it? It wasn't ENIC that sacked him. It
had to be a board decision. Levy can't do nothing without having the vote on the board, so he has the final say.
But you look at who the board was weighted with. The board was weighted with Levy supporters. Yeah, so if Daniel Levy goes to the board and says, right, I want this manager sacked, he's not doing enough, the board are going to go, oh yes, Daniel, yes, we agree, yes. Yes, 3 bags full, Daniel. It's a load of shite. You've got to give ENIC a little bit of you've got to give them, right, if not giving them a chance, you've got to give them enough rope to hang themselves by turning around and saying they're shit before they've even given themselves enough rope to hang themselves with.
That's my opinion.
You can't, I know it's your opinion, but you've got to give them a little bit. I'm not saying you're not.
I'm not allowed. I'm not going to. I have a view that I'd rather have new owners in than have ENIC there. I would. And them now coming out now and saying, "Oh, here's 100 million. It's going to be regular income." Fine. How come you didn't do that under Daniel Levy? How come it's taking?
Because how do you know? How do you know Daniel Levy wasn't turning around and saying, "No, I don't want that money." You can't say why didn't they do it when you've got a man who sat there and basically you shove a piece of coal up his ass and pull it out and you get a fucking diamond.
Can I this is what I'm saying. Though we don't know. We don't know, guys. So I understand why you're both seeing this, but we don't know. None of us really know. This is why you have to wait. I know we don't want to wait, but this is why you have to wait and see. You can't judge it yet. Either way, either Dermo wants ENIC out, or either James thinks give him a chance. You can't judge it either way. Yeah, we don't have the information. Only time will give us that, and only. Yeah. I don't think you should. Well, people won't like this, but I don't care about January. I don't. I will not judge. I will not judge them at all. I don't care if we bring in one player or we don't in January. Right? It's not how I look at it. Next summer, then you judge them. If they increase the wages, right? If you start paying proper what I call proper wages, right, in competition with the big 4 or 5 teams in the league, then there's a change. We saw maybe a little bit of it with the quality of player we went for last window. There was a smidge of it, a little inkling of hope. Oh, we bought 2 marquee signings rather than the 1, which is what I said. It looked like it was only going to be Kudos, but no, we went and got Simmons. So that's 2. We normally don't get 2. That for me was the first little sign. Okay, maybe they're going to do something a bit different. So that I'll give them the year. But my point is, though, Dermo, by all means, I don't really trust them either. But we don't know. You can think that, Dermo, but you don't know any more than James does, really, for sure.
Nobody knows.
If it's Levy, no, we don't. Unfortunately, you've got to wait. And as James says, if it is ENIC, then they will hang themselves.
I mean, to your premise, then, James, you think ENIC are going to be out before the summer anyway? So is this?
Yeah, I think the club will be sold by the. I think the club will be sold in summer.
So really and truly, we will never know if they're going to sell up and they're pumping money in for the club to be sold. And yes, we know some of that 100 million is on the operations of the club. We know it's going to pay for the men's side. It's going to pay off some of the transfers that we owe out. We know we got, what's it, 200 and something million out on transfers.
Something like that, yeah. 200, about 278 million outstanding in transfer payments.
The point I was going to make was you look at Levy, you look at ENIC, and you look at and I was trying to make the point with the protests, right? None of us on here were really fully Levy out, ENIC out. We were quite well balanced in our opinions on ENIC and Levy. So my question to you is, James, is it because Levy lost some of his left lieutenants this summer that ENIC then got enough people to get rid of him? Or is
100%.
it down to the Levy children? Then old man Lewis was quite happy with he came in, and am I right in saying this? I think you remember as well, James. I think you told me this the other week, Tequila, that we've come here to make money, not, was it something along them lines when they bought Tottenham?
When they first came in many moons ago, they actually didn't lie. That's the thing. They didn't lie really with what they said. They said we're here to make money, which they've done. They said we're here to get you into the Champions League, which they did. As much as I dislike them overall, especially under Levy's stewardship, I can't say that now Levy lied to us over the years. Don't get that mistaken. He lied to us about stuff like the stadium and stuff like that. He did. And people want to defend him. He said we compete when we did the stadium, right? We ain't been competing. We haven't done hardly anything since we got the new stadium that we couldn't have done in White Hart Lane. Not really. Right. So that stuff is different. But when ENIC initially came in, they more or less told us that they were here to make money and they were going to get us into the Champions League, and they did it. Unfortunately.
So, look, my question to you, James, is this, right? Do you think it was more Levy and Lewis that were holding us back, and the kids have come in and had a different approach? They want to see Tottenham in a different way. Is that why you're giving them a little bit of leeway? Because it's a whole new broom at the top of the club. It's not Levy and it's not Joe Lewis in charge. It's Vinay, it's Peter Carrington, it's Viv, it's Charlie Lewis, Vivian Lewis and Charlie Lewis. Is that why you're giving them a little bit of leeway? Is that how you're thinking? I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from, so I get it in my head. So, I get what you're asking. No, it's not because of the change. It's that the past teaches me that if somebody doesn't just all of a sudden decide to throw money at a football club, you don't just decide to throw money at a football club. There's got to have been a reason behind this sudden desire to put an influx of cash into the club. Right? I don't think it's got anything to do with the fact that we owe this money out on transfer funds. I don't think it's got anything to do with the yarn that we're being spun on. It's to cover the cost of running out the football operations. Tottenham financially is in an extremely healthy place.
Is it flash money, James? Is it flash money?
Yes. We are going to do something different. We are going to be different. We will never know. We will never know because none of us sat in that boardroom and listened to what Daniel Levy said about the football club. None of us can know that, right? I'd love to have been a fly on the wall. I'd love to have known. I mean, even with the Amazon Prime documentary on Tottenham, you got very sort of little insight into the running of the football club and what Daniel did on a day-to-day basis. You got very, very little. He's always been a very, very secretive man in regards to what his desire for the football club has ever been. Now, it is just my opinion, but I believe that 99. I'm pretty much. I'm not going to say 99% sure. I'll say I'm 75% sure that the Lewis kids, Joe Lewis even himself, would have turned around because businessmen are businessmen. They also know the rule of speculate to accumulate. They are going to have looked at it, and we were discussing it earlier, Dermo. The year after we got to the Champions League final, right? All that money we earned from that Champions League run, all the television money, everything like that, and we were in COVID as well. So that money was godsend to our football club, and we could have really pushed on at that point, but we didn't. We stalled because Daniel Levy did not sign any players. That wasn't the Lewis board. That wasn't the Lewis Enoch saying we're not signing any players. That was our chairman choosing not to sign a player.
We can only be we can't be 100% sure if it was fully on him. There's always different rumors. We don't know. I get your point, but also I want to put this point to you two: is everyone was saying it's Daniel Levy's fault. Daniel Levy wasn't a millionaire. He couldn't afford to fund the football club. Joe Lewis was the billionaire. He was the one that needed to pump the money in to back them for the club to spend the money. So you can't blame everything on Daniel Levy.
No. But if somebody's what my point that I was getting to, Dermo, is if Joe Lewis is turning around and said, all right, Daniel, I've got 100 million for you this summer, or I've got 200 million for you this summer to put into the club, and Daniel Levy is turning around and going, no, I don't need that money. I'll make do with the money that we've earned from this profit, because I'm paying cheap wages. I'm charging my fans maximum amount I can possibly get away with paying for, getting them to pay for. I'm making signings for, I'm haggling them down from a £50 million player, trying to get them down to a 30 million player. So I've saved 20 million there. So I don't need your money, Joe. Thanks very much. I'll make do with what I've got. Because when you look at Tottenham from when Levy and the Enoch group and Levy took over, you tell me that is not what is our model has been. Let's make do with what we've got. Because that's what it screams at me. It screams, we'll make do.
Even over the last few transfer windows, Tequila, that Tottenham have spent quite heavily in transfer markets. We have spent heavily on players. We have brought in different directors to do that for us. Paratici brought a lot of players in under the first year.
Like 20 director of footballs, Durban. Nearly as many director of footballs we've had managers.
So we've spent. I did it the other day. I found it the other day. We've spent nearly $1 billion on transfers over 25 years. It's round that figure. I think if you add it all up, it's around about $1 billion.
The thing is,
we've earned around nearly enough for $1 billion ourselves. So we're breaking even when it comes to transfers. Are you with James on this? That it's all on Daniel Levy? And I think that's what you're saying, James. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I'm not saying it's all on Daniel Levy, but I think that Joe Lewis installed Daniel Levy to make money. That's what Joe Lewis did. Yeah. And when they started making money and the purse strings could have been loosened, Daniel Levy didn't loosen the purse strings.
I think it had to come from Lewis. I don't think Levy had it. I think it had to come from Lewis himself. And
I don't agree with that. That's my opinion, but I don't agree with that.
I think Lewis left Levy to it. I think he said, "This is your baby. This is your pet project." And Levy was probably all for it. And generally, Lewis had very little. He'd meet him once. We heard these rumors, right? Every summer, he'd go to his yacht.
Wasn't it once a year?
Once a year, he'd go to his yacht, give him probably like a financial breakdown, give him a status report. And I bet that Joe Lewis, other than that one meeting with Levy, probably didn't even give Spurs a second thought till the next year. So Levy was left to do it all.
I think he went to 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah, this is what I mean. So he was completely hands off. I think he left it all in Levy, and we might not know exactly how much leeway Levy had, but the stuff that Levy 100% can be blamed for is how his mannerisms and how he went about doing this stuff. Now, if the remit was simply, we're not going to pump much money into this, you need to live within your means. That's a term we've all got to learn, right? With today's living crisis, living within your means. Now, if that was a simple remit, then that isn't Levy's fault if he was told that he's got to do that. But how Levy went about that and how we spent those resources, I think, was his fault. This mucking around, leaving it to the last minute because he thought he'd get a bargain. Why? Because 1 year we did well. We got Van der Vaart once. The rest of the time, we generally got mugged off, like losing Berbatov and bringing in Fraser Campbell. Most of the time, we got mugged off. But Levy thought that was a way to do it. Wait till the last minute, you grab yourself a deal. That doesn't work out most of the time. It worked out once for him, maybe twice, best twice, maybe max.
I agree with you on that.
Nobody forced him to do these things. This is all the stuff that is on him. How he went about it is all on him, no one else. But the actual idea that how much money he was allowed to give, I think Joe Lewis probably said, "It's your baby, Daniel. Don't expect just put money in." That's why he was so obsessed. Daniel Levy was trying to bring in extra revenue streams so that he would have a bit more clout to play with, money to play with.
I agree with some of what James is saying. Actually, when you look at it overall over the 25 years he's been at the club, there is a lot you can say it's your fault. I think if you are look about it, we've got the best stadium in the world, and that's down to him. That's down to him. That's down to Daniel Levy. We've got the best training facilities in the world. And to be fair, we're ahead of the curve when it comes to doing other activities at the stadium. Aston Villa did it this summer with Black Sabbath at Villa Park, and a lot of other clubs now start to do concerts and this. I don't like the link up with the NFL. I never have done. I never will. I just don't.
It's good money though, Dermo. It's good money.
It's good money, but I just don't like it. But look, if the money goes into the footballing side, that's all I care about. That's all I want is the money going into the footballing side. It's not going into where I think it was going into other developments around the stadium. I think now any money we make, it does go back into the football side. So I'm hoping that changes. Look, I'm hoping to be proven wrong. I hope the Lewis family in January surprise me and get one or two players in, and next summer they knock me out the park with a group of players. And I hope I'm wrong. But I just don't trust them because of their track record. And I think many Tottenham fans are a bit dubious. Why now? Why now? Why now? Why do this now? And it's very big as well that Paratici didn't come back until Levy left. So there's a question here I want to ask you guys.
Can I ask you a question quickly, Dermo, before you say this? Just before you move on.
Yeah.
Regarding what you expect from next year's transfer window, do they have to blow you away, or can't it just be an improvement? Does it have to be so drastic where they have to bring in 4 or 5 world-class players, or is it just, the amount of money being spent will be the same, but it will be, as I saw small signs of, we will increase the wage budget. That will change, and we'll go after 2 or 3 next year. We'll go after 2 or 3 £50 million players. But we'll still end up spending a similar amount overall as we've done. Is that enough? Or are you saying, no, we need to spend 300 million rather than 150 million we normally do? Is that what you're asking for? Or is it just a smarter way of doing things?
No, I want to spend 300 million.
You want just more money spent, not actually how it's spent.
I want, look, in January, you can go and get Vajovic on loan for 6 months and sign them up on the deal at the end of that 6 months. Because he will have only had 6 months left in his contract. He's out.
You know about the Juve striker?
Yeah.
Vlahovic.
Yeah.
Vlahovic.
Get him on loan for 6 months and then sign them up at the end.
He rejected me, Dermo. I went to Barcelona. I tried.
I wouldn't have. Do you know what? I would have offered him more wages. See, you're a tight gip, Nick. See, he blames Levy for running a tight on wages, and he's doing.
I was playing as Juventus at the time, Dermo. Even Juventus, he wouldn't sign for Juventus. Wanted just from Barcelona.
And also, I want to see us try and go for big players. Go for the juggler. Really throw your boat at it. If we finish high in the league this year, I want us to go on to the next level for next summer.
So I'll ask you this then, Dermo. One question for you here.
Yeah.
you say you want us to go for the big players, yeah? Who, if money was no option, right? Who would you want to sign?
I think Vlahovic would be one for me for a striker, or Harry Kane.
Right.
I would go all out for Harry Kane, bring him back. I don't know if there's going to be much chance in that, but all out for Harry Kane. I would sign up Palunia straight away. I would buy and take up the option on him.
Right.
I would go and get Mark Gahey from Crystal Palace.
So basically, what you've told me is you'd get 2 free transfers and spend 60 million on bringing Harry Kane back.
No, I haven't finished.
Yeah, because Mark Gahey's a free transfer.
Yeah, I know.
Dusan Vlahovic is a free transfer.
Yeah, but it won't be because he'll go in January. Mark Gahey will go in January. Mark my words. Palace will want money for him in January. He will not want to go on a free transfer. But I would go for Vlahovic. I would go for Gahey. I'd go for Kane. I would also go for what's his name? The goalkeeper. Fucking
which one?
Oh, fucking what's his name?
Who's he play for?
He plays for Juventus. I think it's Juventus he plays for. He's an Italian goalkeeper. He's fucking brilliant. Oh, what's his fucking name? And then I would look around then for... I would lay out 350 million to spend in the summer. That's your transfer budget.
So you want is that including wages as well? Because that's a completely different.
No,
thing.
Wages different. Wages on top of that.
So do you think are you expecting Enoch then next summer to more or less invest maybe that could be an extra 300, 400 million?
Yeah.
Is that what you're expecting them to do?
I think the fans
including the wages.
Yeah, I think the fans expect that. I mean, you look at that. We're going to get rid of a load of players too, aren't we? You're going to get Basuma gone. A load of players will go. Brennan Johnson can fuck off. He can. Please just get rid of him now because he's a useless article. I think he plays for Juventus, James. I can't think of his fucking name.
Hey Google, what is the Juventus goalkeeper?
What's his fucking?
The Juventus goalkeepers are Michele Di Gregorio, Mattia Perin, and Carlo Pinsoglio. Michele
Di Gregorio or Perrin or Pinsoglio?
I think it's the third one off the top of my head. I watched him. I saw it the other night and I've been watching him. I thought he's fucking good. I wouldn't mind him. He's very commanding of his box. He's not like Vicario. When he comes out, he catches a ball. He doesn't fluff up, if you know what I mean. Another one as well I would get, we should have got was Kelleher from Liverpool. We should have bought him personally, but that's just my opinion. But I want us to see it go out and have a big window and get players that come in first team players.
I don't think Enoch are never going to. I'll tell you what they do, mate. Enoch, in my opinion, Enoch will never spend Abramovich money. They'll never spend City money, right? They might spend Liverpool, Arsenal money, but you won't get. They're not going to spend, like I say, like Chelsea did or like City did. They're not going to. They won't go to those levels. They won't.
If you do it right, you don't have to spend big money on good players.
It's more about it's about the wages as well.
It is about the wages. But if you think about it, guys, right, James, you're the transfer guru. You're the fella who knows more transfers than probably me and Tequila.
Well, yeah, because I've actually just had a message about transfers, and it's rather interesting about one of the players you've just mentioned.
Okay. Am I going to be happy or sad?
You're probably going to be sad because one of the players that you want looks like he's Bayern Munich bound.
Who's that?
Gahey.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I've
literally, the message reads, watching the show, tell your mate that Gahey will not be coming to Spurs. As far as I'm aware, Bayern Munich have already reached out to his camp. Gahey is highly motivated with the move to Bayern Munich. It looks like this could happen in January or as a free transfer in the summer.
You see, Palace will want money for him. Palace will not want him to go with that money. So what you're looking at, we're looking at 40 million.
At the end of the day, though, Dermo, if Bayern Munich say in January, Bayern Munich can sign a pre-contract agreement with him at the end of his contract.
That's true. That's very true. See, we can do that with Vlahovic as well.
With Vlahovic, yeah.
Look, I don't think Harry. Look,
I agree, Carl. I 100% agree. What Carl Simpson's saying here.
Yeah,
Kane has spoken to Guehi, 100% come to Bayern. Absolutely. He's going to win stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get also for Carl saying this well. I don't get the Vicario hate. Look, I don't hate Vicario, but I don't know what you guys think. He needs to iron out his mistakes. And he's made a few recently. Look, me and James are going to go over tactics. There will be a tactic show going out. Maybe we might focus on Vicario, if that's all right, James, and just to work out where you think I mean, what's your view on it, Tequila, on Vicario? Are you frustrated with him, or are you happy with him? I do want to ask one question, and it's about what the club can do with the fans. There's a couple of questions, James, you sent me, and there's one of them a really good one, by the way. And I want to ask you to it. But just very quickly on Vicario, Carl's brought it up.
I think that maybe us Spurs fans sometimes have got a little bit of a short memory. We had Lloris for a long, long time, and we couldn't wait to get rid of him. And you get in Vicario, who it doesn't make the clangs Lloris did, and we're already kind of like, I understand Dermo. Do I think he's a perfect goalkeeper? No. Do I think he's a top 4 goalkeeper? Probably not. So if that's the goal and you want to get top 4 every year, or dare I say, silly me, challenge for the title, then no, you need an upgrade. But for right now, where we are, I think that there's much bigger problems than Vicario.
I do you know what? I love Vicario. I love his attitude, but it's just the mistakes he's making, James, are so frustrating.
He's not a top. I don't think he's top quality. I think he's a good keeper, but he's a good keeper enough for us anymore.
I just look at the mistakes he's made. The Leeds goal he gave away, the 2 goals at Brighton he gave away, the goal at Wolves he gave away. I mean, is it confidence with him, or do you think he's only because he's young and he's naive and he will develop into a great goalkeeper?
He's not that young. I mean, I know goalkeepers peak older, but it's not like he's 22, 23. He's
not Antonio
27,
Kinski
28,
age.
isn't he? Yeah, he's
he's
not
27.
young. So he's more or less coming into his prime, more or less now. So I don't know if
he's getting into his prime years. Yeah, I always say a goalkeeper's prime years are 27, 32.
About 29. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
So where are you going with it, James? Do you think we have to stick with him, or would you be looking for an upgrade?
I already made my feelings clear on Vicario regarding the goalkeeper who I'd sign, and he currently plays in France. I think we should be going all out and signing Lestes from Lille.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout, actually. To be fair, do you think
I think Kinski deserves a nod. I think he deserves a nod. I think he should be given a chance. But it's what look. We can always say what we think, because we see a football game. We see the game. We don't see the players training day in, day out. We don't see the effort that's being put in. Kinski might be absolutely diabolical on the training ground, and that's why he doesn't get the game time. But when he gets given the nod, he tries to then really impress, because he's trying his heart out to get on the pitch more. So, but I think you should give Vicario at least another year or two and see where he goes. And when he reaches sort of 29, that's sort of where you'll be able to get your peak money for him. And I kind of agree with what Carl Simpson's saying here. Wouldn't worry about Vicario. Got to sort that front line out first. And I agree.
I asked today, before we got on to this last sort of topic we're going to talk about, but I did ask today, should we sell Brennan Johnson?
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm getting to the point where I don't think he's been the same player since that final. He's got his head stuck up his arse. And Dave was right. You look at the James Maddison documentary, where fair play to James Maddison bringing that out, by the way, and give a little insight into what it's like to go through player injuries and what he's going through. You got fucking Cutie coming over, hugging him and going back. Got Bentacle hugging him and going back. Players are hugging him and welcome back and then going back to do the training. You got Brendan Johnson standing there like a garden gnome sitting in the middle of a park, pulling funny faces during the window like an idiot. Now, somebody did put in the comment today that if I was Eddie Gray, I would tell my son Archie, get away from that idiot. He's going to ruin your career.
Yeah.
He is. It seems a bit harsh though, don't mate. Is he 23? Is he 23 years old?
24.
25. I mean, I don't know about you two, but
Brendan Johnson.
Yeah.
He's 23.
So, I mean, I wasn't the most mature of people when I was 23. Were you?
I'm 44, and I'm not really that mature now.
Exactly. I spent half my time quoting Ange Postecoglou and the laugh. I'm not the most mature person either, so it's like I'm just saying that, like, by all means, criticize him for his football stuff, and there's a lot there. But is he a bit of an idiot? Sure, but aren't most 23-year-olds, most of them, kind of idiots?
Don't know. I was an idiot. I got married when I was 23, so that shows how much of an idiot I was.
It wasn't a good. I'm not saying it's a good look. I'm just saying
no. Look, I get it, right? Look, I get it, right? But I think if he wants to really improve, and he wants to get back into the first team, and he wants to improve as a player, wouldn't you be knuckling down and trying to improve yourself on the training ground, trying to improve yourself as a player? Because
I think
he's not doing that. I just feel he's got his head up his ass. The final he's still living the past glories of that final. Even if he scored or didn't score, I still think he did get the final touch at the end of the day. And I will say that till I go to my grave. But I just think he's living off that final. And I think he needs to forget that, move on. And I think the older players, the more experienced players, should be getting hold of them, telling them, hang on a minute here, Brennan. You need to knuckle down. You need to get back to what you do, get back training, get back focusing on your career. Before you know it, it's going to be over. We're looking at another Dele Alli again, where he's just going to waste his career. And I think that should be a warning sign for every young player. Your football career is very short.
Let me just quickly say, mate, I understand where you're coming from and I hear your concerns. But with Dele Alli, there was other mental health stuff. I'm not even using it as an excuse, right? Because he's a grown man. He's got to be accountable for it. He's got to be accountable for his own actions, right? So I'm not even going to use that as an excuse. But all I'll say is that there was other stuff going on for Ali.
There was, yeah.
That's all I can say. Now I'm not even disagreeing with you. Like I say, Johnson. A lot of them. Archie Gray, maybe you're right. Maybe Archie Gray is a more. Everyone's different. Maybe Archie Gray is a more mature person, and won't be like that because we're not all the same. Like so some people do mature.
Well, you think of who Archie Gray's dad is as well.
Exactly. And we don't know Brendan Johnson's upbringing. With all due respect, we don't know what his upbringing was, do we? No. None of us know. So I just say, just don't be too harsh on the kid for being an idiot at 23. That's all I'll say. Everything else. By all means, all the football stuff is all relevant, right? And he gets paid a lot more money that we could all dream of, right? Yeah. To do a much better job, and that's all relevant. But him being an idiot, I wouldn't. I
just get it frustrated because you see him do these silly things. Yes, we all can be silly at 23. I get it. I do get it. I was one myself and still am. I'm 48, but I've got a mind of a 15-year-old, and I'm that stupid sometimes. But I just want him to prove people wrong because I've backed him for so long. Do you know what I mean? And I've backed him and I have backed him and I've never wavered in my support for Brendan Johnson. But I just feel that if he should let his football do the talking, not stupid being silly and pulling faces and in documentaries. Let your football do the talking. And I think he should keep his head down. Get back on the training, get back to some good football, James, and let his football do the talking. That's what I
agree.
I really want him to succeed.
I agree with what you're saying. He should be letting his football do the talking. But right? And I'm no Brennan Johnson fan. Look, we all know he goes missing in games.
Yeah.
We all know he doesn't tip up, and he's good against weaker opposition. But he always tips. He always has this knack of just getting a goal and getting a tap in. And
James Doncaster, for example.
Doncaster was a prime example. He just has that knack. And while he's just doing that, just slowly plodding along, he's going to have fans and he's going to have supporters and he's going to have that, not big head syndrome, but he's going to have that sort of swollen head syndrome is, I am a great footballer. And I think Thomas Frank has sussed Brennan Johnson out very quickly, and that's why he's not in first team so much.
He's a lovable rogue, isn't he, Johnson? In a way, he's a lovable.
I won't call him a lovable rogue.
I wouldn't say. I don't think he's that
lovable. Maybe that's wrong. He's a very lovable person. He's a person that
he is.
You know, I think his parents should be very proud of him.
I don't love him.
Pardon?
I don't love him.
I've tried supporting him.
I think he's a mediocre football player who is very good at being in the right place at the right time.
Question
does that make it worse, James? Then, because he obviously has an innate talent for that. Does that make it worse that his technical aspects to his game, and you could say arguably also his work rate to his game, are so poor? Because he's obviously got some kind of a natural instinct for finding the net. And if the other stuff was along with it, we'd have one hell of a player.
That's Absolutely. A talent in itself, isn't it? That goal instinct.
It's a shame then, really, that it looks like that he hasn't got the other stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah.
It is.
It really is because at the end of the day, the way I see it is if he put just an out. I understand why you drew comparisons with Dele Alli, Dermo, because towards the end of Dele Alli's Tottenham career, yes, I understand about his mental struggles, and I sympathise deeply with people who suffer from mental health and who've come through from abusive families, and my heart goes out to every single one of them. But when he was playing for MK Dons, those mental health struggles and everything weren't affecting his game. When he first broke onto the scene at Spurs, those mental health things never affected his game. He was riding a wave. I always, and I will stick by this 100%, that Dele Alli's game changed when his head got turned when Real Madrid came sniffing around him. Real Madrid came sniffing around him, and there were looking at a 60 to 80 million pound bid for Dele Alli, and from that point his head was turned and he was like, oh, Real Madrid want me, I've made it, I'm a world-class footballer. And from that point his game went downhill, and very, very quickly.
It was said in the documentary, wasn't it? Sorry to kill it, just very quickly. Maybe you might point at this. It was said in the documentary, Mourinho said to Levy, Alex Ferguson told him to go and get Dele Alli for Manchester United. He said, you buy one player, buy Dele Alli. And that's coming from Fergie, like.
I think one thing that also, to go along with what James said regarding Real Madrid, I think that played a role. But I'll tell you something else that played a role when Pochettino left. Because whether we like it or not, Pochettino was mates with a lot of the players. And I think probably he took him under his wing, probably was a little bit of a father figure kind of thing going on. And then Pochettino left. He was never the same under any other manager. As soon as Pochettino left, that was it.
I agree. I agree. I think a lot of
players... and any interviews, Dele Alli always spoke incredibly highly about Pochettino, almost like he respected him as like a father figure. So it was more than just a football thing. There was more to it than that.
Can I ask you a question then? Then surely the senior players should have taken more of a role to help Dele Alli at the time, the likes of a Harry Kane or the senior players.
Maybe we don't know if they were or weren't doing that. They may have been doing that, and Harry Kane might have come up saying, "Dele, I'll look after you," blah blah blah. Or the senior players might have Jean Vertonghen, Toby Alderweireld, Just to name another couple, Dembele might have been somebody who said, I'll keep you under my wing and thingy, we're here to support you and all that. How do we know Dele Alli's not turned around? I don't need your support. I'm all right. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm Dele Alli. I'm this. I'm that. We don't know.
No, you don't.
Is it because maybe Cole puts it a little bit in the chat? Do you think maybe James is because the other players were peers for Dele, whereas Pochettino, like I say, was much more of a father figure, with somebody kind of in charge of him.
Yeah.
You're doing it with other players. Yeah, they might be slightly older. I mean, Kane was a little bit older, but not that much, right? So they're more your peers, they're more your mates. Whereas with Pochettino, like I say, I think there probably was a father figure kind of thing going on there.
And when Mourinho came in, he was a bit of a he was more for when Mourinho came in, it was more rules, and Dele Alli didn't like the rules. There was a change there. Just very quickly on this, guys. This just came up this evening.
My apologies.
It's gone there again. I was going. Where is it gone? Big up to you, Carl. I was going to read out what I had on. I can't see it now.
Sorry, there you go.
Right, that's right. Manchester City are expected to learn the verdict of their seismic 115 legal charges against the Premier League over the November international break. The punishments could stretch from a fine to multiple relegations or anything in between. This is from Football Insider. Now, guys, this has come out in the last few days that we are going to get to hear of their judgment. From a Tottenham point of view, from a Spurs fan point of view, what do you want to see happen to Man City? Not what you think's going to happen. What do you want to see happen from a Spurs fan point of view?
I want them stripped of the titles and relegated down to National League. That'd be just punishment.
Do you know the same thing happened with Rangers up in Scotland, didn't it? They got stripped and put down. So you as well, Tequila?
I don't think you can strip him of the titles. I think a relegation is the right thing. I don't know how far down the tree you want to put them. I don't know. The funny thing is, people talking about wanting to throw money into the pyramid of football, right? To give money to, if you put City in Division 3, or League 2 technically, Division 4, then everyone will get all the teams in the lower leagues will have a big increase whenever they go to Man City or whenever they play City. So there you go. You do two birds with one stone. They'll inject some money because they'll. Well, then again, saying that, do you think City fans would turn up to watch their team in League 2?
Nope.
I think the genuine fans would. The genuine.
And
fans.
how many of them do you think there are then, Dermo?
Probably
30,000, maybe.
Yeah,
20,000.
That's it. I mean, you're looking at You're looking at the likes of Man City. You're looking at West Ham now, not turning up for Monday's game because they want their owners out. How quickly would the Man City fans want their owners out if they get relegated? I don't
think the fans would have much say. I think the owners would walk away because the cash cow's gone.
Then would that leave Man City in a financial state then?
We already are in a financial state.
But do you know what I mean? Right. Okay. Then let me rephrase the question. Then, could Man City go bust?
No, they won't go bust.
Yeah.
I think someone will buy them, but I think that the owners will sell, and it'll be sold as a full. It'll be if they get relegated. Say let's use what Tequila said. Say they go down to League 2, right? It will be they will set the record for the most expensive League 2 club ever sold and paid and bought, because it'll probably be somewhere in the region of about 1.52 billion. That someone will buy them, and they will basically buy them on the hope that they will get themselves back to the Premiership. What I think you'll find is all their big name players will leave. It'll be like a freaking rats from a sinking ship. But their academy players and their young players will probably stick around because they'll see it as an opportunity to sort of develop, play in lower leagues and moving through the leagues and developing and becoming better players as they move up through the leagues. And as they then move up, the money will start ticking back in. And then once they reach the Premiership again, it'll go back to how it used to be. They'll start to they'll not dominate. It'll take them a few years. If they get relegated, I would say 10 years at the most, and Man City will be back in Premiership.
Do you think though, if they get back in the Premier League, because they won't have the state ownership though, they will never recapture this form, if that's the word to use, they have? They might get back into their Premier League, but won't they go back to their older days where they were kind of in the shadow of United and stuff like that?
Yeah, mid-table team.
Yeah, that they will never go back to prominence. They will never go back to prominence like they have been the last 10 years.
No, because let's all be honest here, because we're all grown ups and we're all honest with each other. They've pretty much bought those titles.
Of course they have. Of course they have. Just like Chelsea did, just like Blackburn did. Not the first.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's we're gonna end it on that actually. I've just seen something that I'm head scratching what I've just seen. So
is that Carl saying Levy will buy them? Are you thinking that Levy
no,
will buy
it's something else. I just do not get YouTube's algorithm or YouTube, the way YouTube works. It's just really baffling me. But guys, that is it. Are we back tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. No show tomorrow, guys. I am the United Agenda at 9:30. Saturday at 5 o'clock. No, at 6 o'clock. Members show the pre-game thoughts before Villa. Where I go over all the pre-game thoughts, and then We Are Tottenham TV at 12:30, and then the watch, before the whistle and the watch on will be one video. So we start at 1:30. James, I know people can see you in here, but where else can they find you, sir?
You can find me on X. That's where I tend to do most of my business at the moment. I am at THFC James on X. Please come along and follow. You get my latest transfer news as I get it. As soon as I've dropped it on here, there'll be rumours galore. We are getting close to the January transfer window, so it's getting round to one of my favourite times of the year again, where I get all my rumours and my updates. So if you want to get the hottest gossip as it comes, please, please, please follow on X. My apologies, guys. I'm being called.
You better go then.
No, it's just my buddy from America ready for gaming. That's all.
All right. Tequila, where can people find you, sir? I know they find you here, but also you've got a great gaming channel. So where can they find you?
It's called the Play Pouch. Just me and a couple of crazy 40-year-olds and Com, who will be there soon. Just play games. We did a podcast on the Microsoft stuff. I'm sure you've all heard of. That's not really good news. And there'll be some more shows on Red Dead Redemption 2, which might be getting a remaster, by the way. Maybe. And Metal Gear Solid, that'll be coming onto the channel. So yeah, please join me and my friends on the Play Pouch. Cheers, guys.
Also, me and James do have a gaming channel, Double Done Gaming, so do get over there. I think James is going to do some Football Manager when that comes out in the next month.
FM 26.
Yeah, and there will be some.
Yeah,
F1.
that's coming soon, isn't it? Next month, isn't it?
Yep. 4th of November.
And James is going to be gone. James will not be. We won't be able to contact James for a couple of weeks after that game comes out, don't we?
No,
he will be
I'll be completely. I will be learning everything there is to know about the next generation of Wonder Kids, tactics. I will be able to give you all an in-depth breakdown. And when me and Dermo go head-to-head in some of our little head-to-heads that we're going to have on FM 26 when he gets the game. Yeah, you know you're getting your ass kicked. I will basically be incommunicado for at least 2-3 months. January transfer window will start, and I will re-emerge. I'll be like a butterfly coming out of a cocoon, like Big James coming out from his Football Manager cocoon.
Can I also say it is free on Game Pass, actually, which I'm really chuffed over. I've already pre-ordered it now. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, there'll be plenty of F1 content as well on there. And also, once I get my PS5, Gran Turismo will be coming on there as well, because I love my bit of Gran Turismo. And I'll be doing a bit of daily online racing. So watch for that. That's going to be good fun. But yeah, we are back Saturday. So join us for the members show at 6. Join us for the watch along on Sunday. And then it's all build up then to the game on Wednesday for Monaco. Join us for all the stuff for that. But guys, thank you all for watching tonight. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Do you want to take us out, Tequila?
Yep. Just like I said to Ange after I beat him earlier on, it's just who we are, mate.
Good night.
Eyes on the prize.